Who is it? Is it my brother? Who is it? Some kind of emergency. Who is it? Bam! I can't take it cause I'm lonely. I call my brother. This is Name That Tune. Who knows the song? And when I did it, I did it, and did it. I ain't gonna stop till y'all tell me the song. And who is it? Is it my brother? Some kind of emergency. Thank you, Miss Bailey. You stopped your uncle from singing. I want to know who is it? Who is it, people? Are y'all listening to Miss Heidi Fly over there this afternoon, and Miss Tracy? And several things were dropped. I know we just say, damn, they're still talking about show. Still talking about show. Well, the reason why we're still talking about show, because there's a very good chance that all we ever going to get out of the show is this. Is just talking about the experience of show. Because there is no show, right? Anyway, I heard a couple of things that I want to comment on, and I want to ask a question of Miss Ty. Now, y'all act like Ty is the property of Sean Bradley, and the only person that is appropriate to speak to Ty is Sean, right? But that is such caca, because Sean, I mean, this woman is a woman who called us out of town to do a project for her, and we went there and we did it, and now we're getting all kind of contradictory stories. So I think she can speak up for herself. I don't think it's anything. I don't think he owns her. I don't think it's any contract. Oh no, you're all we need. You can't ask anything from Ty. You can't Ty. QP, wee! Why are you talking to Ty? Why do you see the strong black woman? All right, people. I know I'm being silly. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Princess A. Elaine Berry and Cheryl Williams and all you guys. How you doing, Roxanne? Hi, Redbone. Welcome, everyone. A lot of people in here. Okay, them girls over there dropping stuff today. Miss Heidi Fly apparently recorded some phone conversations with Miss Ty, and she was able to play that. I couldn't really make out much of it. I wish they had better equipment where we could actually hear what people are saying on the phone. It's very hard to decipher what they're actually saying, right? But a couple of things did come through. So there were some falsehoods. We still don't know what the fuck's going on with the show. Nobody tells nothing about the show. Only one really knows the truth about the show is Bradley. But in this phone call, it was leaked that someone participating in the show was actually one of the investors. They were actually putting up the money for the show. So we want to know, who is it? Is it my brother? Who is it? We want to know who it is, because my thinking is this. I don't think one person would have put up the money for the show. So if the investors for the show were actually Club Chat, now just think about it for a minute, people. We know we have some over there who will do anything, including walk through fire for Sean Bradley and the Club Chat. If it's one of them dragons, D. Ramsey or the Leo the Lioness Monster, if they put their money up, that means probably many of them put their money up. Because one thing about that old mansion, it was full of Club Chat. They were there before the taping and after the taping. So are we coming to understand that this was all a ripoff of Club Chat? Did this dude talk these people into paying for airline tickets and hotel rooms? And was all this put on by Club Chat? That's what we want to know. We want to know who is it, because if one of them invested in it, because I mean, you kind of would have to invest in it because the girls got no talent. I mean, I don't know what they came there for actually. I still don't. All other than D. Ramsey coming across the room to kill Nicole Tyler, we still don't know why anybody was there. There was no script. There was no show. Actually, there was a bunch of screaming and yelling and people threatening to kill each other. But we want to know now, who is it? See, they tend to be so secretive over there. Here's the other things. That's thing number one. Who on that show is paying for it? And how many of those people in Club Chat actually put up the money for this show? The second question, this was directly for you, Ty. Now, I don't have no problem with you. I thought you were a nice lady. I thought you were an ambitious woman. I thought you were trying to do so. That's the impression that I got. But I was always kind of curious as to why you had this bald head fool running around the room hollering, screaming, motherfucker this, motherfucker that. I said, it didn't seem all that professional. I said, what kind of what does he have on her where he would actually be having enough power to be walking around there like he owned the place? And it seems like perhaps it was their own money that would explain it, right? But my question for you, Ty, and here's what motivated me to even come and address this. On that phone call, you were saying something to Heidi, was the exact same thing you said to me, almost word for word. So what I'm asking you, Miss Ty, and this is respectful so far, but I mean, let's face it, girl, we got nothing out of the damn thing. All we did, we helping you, a total stranger. I want to ask you this question. You said your story was, or one of the things you used to smooth people was that YouTube owned by Google was about to shut down the beef sector. You told me and you told Heidi that there were so many celebrities becoming interested in and having channels on YouTube that they no longer needed us. So she said, what was they were doing was you were saving us. You were rescuing us. Because the people who were involved in the show, they were all going to be celebrities, or we were all going to be celebrities. That way they could not take our channels, because if we had a reality show, we would be like Nene Leakes, Phaedra Parks. We would be actual celebrities, so we could keep our channels. This is what you told me. And all I'm asking you is, Miss Ty, were you lying to us? Because I understand you're a businesswoman. I know certain things have to be done when you're trying to get something accomplished, right? The ends justify the means. We know I lived in Hollywood for 15 years. I have plenty of friends who were trying to make it in show business. And they were told all kinds of things. Oh, you're the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And there were always a lot of promises made by the producers and by the agents to get to fulfill their projects, right? All I'm asking you, Ty, I know they say you don't want to have no YouTube presence, but at some point you need to come out front. Let me tell you this. I was watching this series. I'm watching it now on Netflix. So far, there's only 2 seasons. And Narcaca or some shit like that. Anyway, it's about this Mexican family who are very wealthy people who are in the tequila business. And at some point, there's a power struggle, right? Like in most of those kind of movies, where the father has been murdered, and now the mother has got to select someone to run the company. And now one brother has sabotaged the other people's accomplishments to make himself look better, kind of thing. Anyway, there's a scene in there where there's a strike. And I've noticed this about all kind of movies like that. Whenever there's a strike, a movie about a company, some kind of big company or corporation, whatever, and there's a strike, there's always a scene where either the owner or the CEO come over and to say something to the people, right? And it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference because this is coming directly from the head. The CEO says something. Then at the end, because they're booing her as this is a woman, as she's coming on to talk to them. But by the end of her speech and her promises made, whatever, everybody is clapping for her and applauding her. This is a very common seen in movies up like that about dynasties and about strikes. So what I'm saying to you is, can't you just come forward, even though you don't like to be online, and say something to us? I mean, does everything have to still run through Sean Bradley? So I'm just saying, was it a lie? Are our livelihoods in jeopardy? Is the beef sector really going to be taken away? Because you said distinctly that Google was taking the beef sector and doing away with it. The only way for us to be saved was if you made us celebrities. Now, this was an unnecessary lie, right? The boy had already asked me that I want to do it. I said, okay, I'll do it, whatever. But this is just something that you were using in your smooths. So when I hear it spoken on the phone to somebody else, almost word for word, I begin to question, girl, was that a lie too? I mean, how much of this damn thing was all a lie? Is this just a bunch, a club chat, all tipping in $1,000 a piece? Is that what that is? Is that how you pay for the rooms and things like that? Is how you pay for the people, videographers? It seemed like those kids might have been even, they may have been even students. But but nevertheless, we understand that all these people had tickets. They all had food, most of them. They all had hotel rooms. So we understand that. We understand that Airbnbs had to be rented. We understand that the house where the thing was actually filmed, that had to be paid for. I think you even gave me the number. And you seem like a decent person. That's why I'm asking you. Now, Sean Bradley and those witches over there, they'll get all excited. How can you ask the question of Ty? Girl, why not? Why shouldn't we ask the question of her? You don't just come and just take people and use them for whatever reason, and then you don't tell them nothing. I mean, don't we deserve to have an answer for the time that we went through that experience? Or you just say, oh, well, there ain't nothing. Who cares about what they think? No, if you're going to make a project, if you're going to star us in your project, no matter what it is, I think you should tell us the truth. And I can accept, listen, it was a lie. Google ain't said shit to me. Ain't nobody taking down no section. You could say, you guys, you think in terms of the beef sector, but there are many sectors. There may be 100 sectors on YouTube. All kind of groups, people who only have a few people in that particular group. Somebody just showed me a different beef sector on here. I wasn't even aware of it. But all those people knew each other and they all communicated with each other. So there's probably many groups. I mean, even white groups, these young people's groups, they got hip hop groups, they got all kinds of different kinds of groups. So, but you said that our group, a particular group, was going to be phased out. So I'm asking you, is it a lie? And I do believe that you should come and make some kind of statement as to what is going on with this show. Now, I can accept that I probably won't be appearing on your show. But I think it is only right to at least let the people know something. Now, Bradley and them over there, they acting like the only people that mattered were the ones in Orlando. Everybody else was a piece of shit, right? So he is so nasty and rude because basically we don't even know who you are. Ain't nobody seen you. We did this because he asked us to do it, right? And he keeps saying he made us careers and all that kind of, and he finds airhead people like the Fire Monster who actually believe the hype. But basically, we did this for him. That's what I did it for. Somebody, I said, well, somebody on YouTube, they're gonna pay for the ticket. Why not? Go ahead, you know. No big deal. But it's become a big deal because it's a bad feeling. I got a sinking in my gut when I heard you say word for word to Heidi what you had said to me. And I said, well, she calls it a snooze, when you're pumping people up, you know. Then she said to me, and where is our since we're talking, you told us when we left Atlanta there was going to be a trailer. And then this was only going to take 2 or 3 weeks. And you were going to send us all a trailer to use on our videos, right? Because the bottom line is we were supposed to get something out of it. We weren't just going there. We don't even hardly like Sean Bradley. I mean, I barely even knew who he was. I just saw him on here. But there was supposed to be something in it for us. So you said out of your own mouth, and I remember very distinctly that they're gonna be trailers made. So I'm thinking, well, hell, if you record it 4 times, surely there's a trailer in there. Our trailer is usually what 2 minutes. Or was nothing ever made out of it? Did we leave Atlanta? You put it in the box and that was it? We don't know, but I feel like you should say something. And I would certainly like to know if you lied to us about this situation. Because you can't just go and tell people, you're about to be fired. You're going to lose. They're going to take this thing away in a minute. Why would you have us here thinking that if you just made it up? If Google has nothing to do with it. YouTube has nothing to do with it. Okay. Hi, people. How y'all doing tonight? Who is it, Miss Bailey? Is it my brother? I used to love Michael Jackson. I loved it because he can make songs. His sounds became hits. Now, what is he? What is that communicating? Hi, Redbone. Redbone, you got retracted. What the hell is that? You my moderator. Hi, y'all. Yes. So I asked yesterday, people, please do not say that person X. Don't say that person's name on here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Is it my brother? I called That dude was such a talent. What a loss. He got so big that he couldn't get any bigger, and then bam, scandal. Knocking right out of his shoes. Mm-hmm. Hi, Miss Tracy. It's really sad. Why you always say it's really sad, Tracy? Is that how the casting couch used to work? All these producers, they would go and schmooze all these women and tell them all this shit. Feinstein and his crowd, tell them all this shit. How you gonna make them all a star? Tell them all this shit. Next thing you know, that he got his hand up under their dress. Although I do remember that no one put their hand up under my dress because I wasn't wearing one. Mm-hmm. Who else in here? Lou A and all. Hi. It's your black heart. Or is that a gray heart? So yeah, there's no reason for us all this. We got the NDA. You can't say nothing about the show. No, that's all we're gonna get out of the show. Right? Let's talk about it. You might as well talk about it. You ain't getting nothing else. Now they didn't close the damn thing down, which happens all the time because most shows don't make it, honey. But we don't even know if this shit was ever a show. Was it just something going to be sold on YouTube? I was told that it was going to be show. It was being pitched to Netflix and HBO or somewhere. No, WeTV, I think. They were already in negotiation. And just at some point, you need to just come and tell the truth. You need to forget Sean Bradley even exists and talk to the people, honey. They don't want anything spectacular from you. We just want to know what the truth is. Okay, here's what we were trying. It either did or didn't work. We may use it, we may not use it, whatever. Yes, I apologize. I did do a little smoozing with this backstory. I could accept that. I would respect you for coming and telling the truth. But staying in the shadows, it tends to look like you're actually hiding something yourself, right? This boy, he done fell out with everybody on the goddamn thing since the show. And so the only ones he don't fall out with is the people in the club chat, which brings me back to who is it? Did this cement mixer lady, what's her name? Leo, the Lioness Monster. Did she take some money out of her 401k? What about that D. Ramsey? Did she mortgage that house she always bragging about? I mean, where did the money come from, actually? Because this is kind of a hard sell, honey. I know that you said that there were investors, Ty, but who were those investors? Right? Bradley says he ain't asking Club. I don't ask Club Chat for nothing. I don't ask Club Chat, but you used to ask Club Chat to support people and put food in people's people's houses, and do things for their children and bury people and all this kind of stuff. All of a sudden now you don't ask them for no money. Is it because you've already got a massive amount of money from them? That woman will not go a camera admitting anything. Okay, she's not going to admit it on camera. I just think she should. Oh, my point about the when the CEO came out to the company in Mexico, the people were so satisfied. It was because it was coming directly from the head. They didn't want to hear from one of the lying ass managers, right? Come and tell us the truth. See, he likes to always like he has something, you know. Oh, I got some reason they got to be nice to me. I got girl. We don't want to hear nothing else from him. He slipped up a few days ago and said there wasn't no show. The show was on hiatus. The show was in the can. You know how many shows have been canceled, honey? Do you know how many real TV shows because of Corona have been canceled? They ain't got no show. All they showing is reruns. A lot of them have packed their bags, honey. They won't come back. Do you know how many businesses in this country, they don't, not only do they have their windows boarded up, the furniture is gone from the business. The kitchens have been torn out of the business. They're not coming back, honey. So it's no shame in saying, well, this didn't work. You can blame it on the circumstances, but don't continue to lie to people or allow that fool to lie to people. Right? Is anything wrong with that? Who is this woman? Well, in the phone calls, though, they said a lot. They said he was talking a lot about the situation with Tracy and why they didn't like Tracy and all this kind of stuff because of her doxing and all this kind of shit. But my belief is, you know, about how Sean Bradley feels about Tracy, right? So you think he wasn't putting it in Ty's ear about Tracy? I mean, everybody in Club Chat, they all know about Tracy, right? I went on over there to talk to them one time, and all they talked about was Tracy. So he has done that. That woman ain't got no reason to hate Miss Tracy. No, he did that. When I was interviewing with him, he kept jumping on the screen. Fuck you, Tracy! Fuck you, Tracy! I said, well, goddamn, nigga, you called me on the show. I'm supposed to be doing the show. And when he asked questions, they didn't ask questions from me. They asked all about Tracy. So that's all out of his psyche, honey. Whatever. I just want to know if I was lied to or manipulated. I like to know. That's the only way you're gonna ever learn any goddamn thing. It's through your experiences. So if you went through this whole experience and you have taken nothing from it at all, and you have been silent with this bullshit ass non-disclosure agreements, and what was the point? You're not even allowed to learn anything from the experience. Tell us the truth so we'll know. That way, when we get into situations like that again, because most of these people are a lot younger than me, they're going to have other experiences. People offer them things. They could have at least learned from this experience, right? They would know what a contract is, what an actual NDA is. They would know something about how people lie to get things done. They would know something about show business. They would know something, anything. They would know something, Miss Ty. You don't just use people up and then that's it. You don't tell nobody. The only one knows anything is Sean. Oh, go over to my Zoom. Oh, the Zoom was crazy. Oh, the Zoom was the greatest crew. Girl, you go over there and hear a bunch of bitches hollering, screaming. You ain't seen nothing new, nothing. And go to my Patreon. Oh, why don't you go on Patreon? Oh, I got some hot tea. I'm gonna put it on the Patreon. Girl, she has to always corral people over there to somewhere. Just talk, nigga. What's the issue? YouTube made you. It made you who you are. They all turn to talk shit about YouTube after they feel like they'd have made it now. Looks like we made it. Found others too. Let me see. Most con artists do seem like decent people. Of course, that's why we trust them. That's the art of the scam. Yes. That is the art of the scam. They seem likable. They seem believable. And obviously, they know how to smooze. Is that the right word? Heidi Fly? Heidi Fly? Heidi Fly is not Heidi. Heidi Fly has surrendered her name, Heidi Fly Monster. She's just Heidi Fly again. Uncle Tim, the show. was a weapon for Sean Bradley to silence his enemies. Competition. They over there actually believe they can't talk. Girl. Then Fire Monster, she talked every show, every goddamn video she made. All she talked about is to show her how she gonna be a star. Google and advertiser is the bottom line. Well, did Google really tell her that? I mean, we're here damn near a year later, and we're still here, right? I mean, if Google is getting ready to V sector, don't they just got to click it off? I mean, we're still here, right? Has anything changed on the beef sector? Are people cussing less or more on the beef sector now? That's what I want to know. So what's changed? And how many sectors are there on YouTube? I'd be curious to know that. I'm sure there must be hundreds of them. Are they being canceled too, and they need the show to rescue them? Tim, did you want to be a celebrity, a 60-something-year-old celebrity? Hell no. Girl, we all want to be. I mean, isn't this thing here? I mean, don't you get a name for yourself on this thing here? It wasn't a street game. You want to get a name for yourself. You want to be somebody. Whatever you're doing. If you work as a medical technician, don't you want to excel in your career? People to know who you are. Oh, she's the best at her job. Oh, we want Karen. We want Karen to. I mean, there's a certain amount of that. I didn't ever believe that it was going to be an ongoing show, though, a celebrity type thing, like a reality show. No, I didn't believe that part. I thought then, and I still think now, that it's more likely a documentary. So why not do that? It ain't like I'm doing a whole lot, people. This whole all this talk. It wasn't number the weekend. It wasn't number 2 days, matter of fact. So why not just get on? And then what they over there talking about? I ain't never been on an airplane before. Where the fuck that come from? Girl, at one point I was taking planes like I was driving cars. If I had to go somewhere, because I lived in LA, I flew back and forth to San Francisco all the time. It was a regular thing. I lived in New York City. Where you think I pushed my shopping cart to New York City? Elaine Berry, hell no, ain't nobody no celebrity. I'm as much a celebrity right now as I'm ever gonna be, honey. No, I ain't had no delusion like that. That's your girl, Fire Monster. She thinks she gonna cut her stomach out and she gonna raise her titties up and everything else. Because she is convinced she gonna be before the cameras, honey. Well, that's a useful kind of way of thinking. No, as you get older, you realize it. Answer is no. They are beefing in all the sectors. I have no doubt, honey. I know celebrities, they fight all the time. I know all them rappers, they always want to kill each other. So I think that was probably a lie. You know, it doesn't feel good when you've figured out that you've been lied to. And a lot of times, all it takes is a simple apology or just an acknowledgement that okay, that was a lie. Beef sector ain't going nowhere. So we always have to guess all this stuff about Ty because she refuses to show herself. Well, maybe that worked then. I'm the producer. I'm above all this kind of stuff. But I think at this point, particularly if there's nothing ever going to happen from this thing, you should be woman enough to come and be honest with people. You know, don't have people resenting you because they already started to talk shit about her. You know, one week she's a transgender, next week she's a lesbian, and next week she's something else. They're already going. So that will just build. Why? All because you couldn't take 10 minutes out of your time to go and tell these people what happened, or update them at least. Say something aside from what Sean Bradley got this. Oh God. She ain't gonna say she lied. I will never. Sam, I am. I never touched those green eggs and ham. So y'all saying that the chances of Ty admitting that she lied are the same as Donald Trump admitting he lost. I would come in and just say I lied. Okay, that's kind of what we do in show business, honey. I would do a little speech and tell people about all the things that I've been through and all the times I've been lied to. I mean, she has been in show business for most of her life. She has sung with other celebrities and stuff like that. And I don't doubt Ty has her own career kind of thing. But I think that people's heads got to be pumped up individually, right? There were certain things she had to say to me, certain things she would say to each individual to make them feel special. I don't know that that's necessarily anything wrong with that, but we just don't want to be lied to. I know Miss J. Dunn don't want to be flown across the country to go over there and get jumped on. Ain't that right, J. Dunn? You can 1120. You can see her. She was in a 90s girl group called Black Girl. Look it up. Yeah, y'all can do that. I'm not interested in it. And this might have been something new for her to try. I mean, I think she's told me, because we talked. I mean, we talked. There was a little conversation on the phone here where he sent us a private phone number. We talked a little bit then. But then she picked me up from the airport by herself in the middle of the night. And we talked on the way to the Airbnb. And then after everything was wrapped up, they had made arrangements for I was supposed to go and see Atlanta because I'd never been there. But I mean, I could see Atlanta just through the windows. It wasn't like I'm going to club it or anything like that. But I kind of hung around. And then she took me to the airport at the end as well. And in the middle of that, she took me to a friend of hers who is like a stylist. Nice kid, you know. And we talked there for a couple of hours. So there was conversation, you know. Bradley is the one who's got everybody all bitching at each other and everybody falling out with each other. He ain't maintained a relationship yet. Everybody he talked to is in club chat. Even when he talks on here, that club chat, nigga, you talking to 2 million people. Are those 16, 17 people over there? Is that all? Is that all there is, child? Anyway, Ty. Okay, let me get a little further up here. She ain't saying none. She ain't saying nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with it, baby. I wear my sunglasses at night. Hi, Kenza. I'm going to look her up. Was she in another girl group too, J. Dunn? I think she was in a more popular group. I think she actually worked with Toni Braxton as well. If I'm not mistaken, she is Toni Braxton, works with Toni Braxton right now. So she has managed groups. She's just been around show business a lot. So she has her own resume. I don't know why she would get herself involved with somebody like this dude. I believe that only because she needed somebody from YouTube. She probably saw this. She said she was going through some grieving pain. She happened to be in Vegas, and to kill the time, she started watching this beef sector, right? And so she got an idea because she is a creative woman. She got an idea for a show, right? And since she knew him or was hooked up with him or connected with club chat, whatever, this was the person she would use to gather these people. But there's a good chance that Ty didn't know what she was doing either. This could be a unique thing. I don't remember what the reality show she was involved in, but apparently there was a successful TV show that she had developed, and then someone else had taken credit for it. So she was trying to do something different where she would actually retain ownership of the show. Now, right when we were on the show, Atlanta, Corona hit right then. Honey, we were in the air. Corona, the news was coronavirus. And so by the time we went there on a Friday. We were still able to fly. And people just said, well, wear a mask. It was suggestion. By the time we get back, you had to have a mask on. It all happened that same weekend, honey. And when we got back to San Francisco, the city was on lockdown. Restaurants was closed and all this kind of stuff. So we can understand if something went wrong. Just take responsibility for it. A lot of businesses, honey, fell into hardship. A lot of projects were not finished. We know that. But you need to tell the people something. You don't just leave them hanging. Damn, y'all want to dox the woman? I don't want to do all that. Who that woman? Harpo, who that woman? She sounded like a con woman straight out of Criminal Minds, a whole sociopath. Oh my goodness, girl. Y'all be going in. I wonder if she won't come on here with these barracudas, honey. Y'all going for the juggler. Yeah, so I mean, I've talked before about this whole NDA thing. And my thought was, if you're going to have people signing NDAs, whatever, you got to pay them. You got to give them something. Because the only reason to sign an NDA is because you've been paid. You've had a financial arrangement, honey. You give me this and you're buying my silence. I mean, what do we get out of the deal? Were we just throwaways, roadkill? Bradley, he don't even acknowledge that we ever did the goddamn thing. It's got to be club chat. Got to be club. The truth is, the only time you actually appeared on the camera was in Orlando. So now, of course, the whole damn thing is about Orlando. Fuck everybody else. Your character, you're not a boss, Bradley. You're not a leader, right? We're finding out that a lot of this bravado you have, you know, you're doing all this, you're successful in doing all this. A lot of it is just bullshit, right? I mean, aren't you a telemarketer? You made us think you were training spies. Can you imagine a room full of spies trained by Sean Bradley? Would they be in the White House? Tracy, stop saying it's really sad. You always say it's just sad. You or somebody else. The other one, I ain't gonna say no. I ain't gonna say no other names. Somebody else said that shit too. What happened? Who did it, Uncle? I don't know. Was it my brother? Who was it? Who do y'all think? Let's do a little contest here. Who do y'all think? Because she said on the phone, or we heard, I think I heard from the phone, or Heidi's commentary, that someone who was involved on the show was actually one of the financiers, right? One of the backers. They had a substantial interest in the show. My thing is, if one of them did it, more than one of them did it. This could be the greatest con game in beef sector history. Who do y'all think is, if there is only one, who do y'all think is the person who was invested in that show? Let's see some hands, some names. I'm not going to do the 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. Y'all just tell me who y'all think it is. The only ones that claim to have any money is D. Ramsey and Leo the Lioness Monster. They both brag that we got job, we can go on vacation, yeah, take off on vacation when we want to. Oh. So they're trying to impress him that they got jobs. So it probably, my guess would be it would be one of them. But I don't know who's all over there. Are they giving some of them Maturish wig money? They might have tricked Maturish too. She's apparently following. We know the Fire Monster ain't got shit. But for some reason, he allowed them to pay for 2 tickets for some of her compadres, being the Bama girl and that other boy, the QB Monster. And so how was she able to influence them in that way? Has she taken some of that, peeled off some of that super chat money and gave it to him too? Is that how she feels so confident that she gonna be on show? Fi Babe gave the vacation money. She might have, honey. I get the impression she's tight, but she likes to pay for shit, you know. She might have bought a little piece of it. He might have talked them all and given it a little piece, you know. That's why every conversation's got to be so secretive. Let's go to Zoom, talking code language. Bashful B says Leo and D. That would be my guess too. Maybe Maturish too, if any of them actually have any money. But that D Ramsey, he always act like she's high in finance. You know, beware of these people who are trying to impress all the time, honey, because they are the ones who will break it off. So we don't nobody ever figured out why are they so close? Because Sean Bradley don't really have a personality. They talking to us. They listen to us. I mean, he ain't really got no personality. So what would be the draw? What holds them together? Has he conned them women out of their money? Why would he put them in the show? Probably all 20 of them put together, girl, ain't got but one personality. show. Phantom Queen. Y'all didn't give me no names. So the only name I saw was Fire Monster. Then you got D. Ramsey Monster. And then you got Leo the Lioness Queen Monster. Leo the Lioness Monster. She ain't no queen. Everything got to be so secretive over there. I know certain players have a lot of personality, right? Like cult leaders and stuff, but they're what they call charismatic people. They can draw people in, but the mystery is why in the hell would anybody be drawn into Sean Bradley? I mean, he's not even funny. So we don't know the inside story. Now that would be a book to write, but I'm writing fiction. I make my own hoes up. There's a possibility where's Nicole Tyler? Nicole Tyler basically quit. She pops in every once in a while. She I guess she's over there with those other people, some other group she hangs out with or something. She pops in every once in a while, but after all that went down and Nicole Tyler realized all these people hate her, she basically been gone ever since. Yeah, she was all excited about show. I myself called my sisters. I called myself, I'm going to be on a show. Where are you going to be on a reality show? Why would you go toying with somebody like that, child? So I don't blame the people because they were told to sow this book of dreams, honey. But she took off. I think she didn't realize the vitriol against her. So it makes me think that somebody was pumping her. When he hates people, he has to get everybody around him to agree to hate them as well. The whole time we was there, all we talked about was Tracy. I said, God damn, what is so interesting about that woman? I mean, who in the hell wants to sit up and have round tables about Tracy when you're supposed to be shooting the show? That's what happened. I don't know. I fell out with Miss Nicole, so we don't speak. But if she says something that's right, she came on and told her truth. I said, well, that's what happened. I ain't got no hatred for people. African awareness and the Most High. She's doing African awareness and the Most High. God bless you, people. Do your thing, honey. Stop frequenting. Motherfucker! That's your pimp. Let me be messy for a minute. Y'all know they got the players ball, right? You can see them here on YouTube. They got the players balls, right? That's where all the old country ass pimps should get together with their stupid ass outfits. They got all these naked women, abused women, laying all over their lap and all of that. So like, y'all imagine Sean Bradley coming in here with his broads. They had Leo the Lioness Queen coming in with her hard helmet. He probably be in a leopard skin pantsuit or something, y'all. He likes to wear those you call those damn jumpsuits, sweatsuits. He's still wearing sweatsuits. That's when you ain't got no class, no taste, honey. You put a sweatsuit on, it covers everything, right? Because everything is matchy, so you just put that on your dress. Country pimps. It all used to kill me. It used to be so stupid looking, child. I mean, everybody looked a little stupid if you go back into the 70s and stuff like that, right? But you find that even now on these country roads. Alligator skin boots and things, child. So you might value some people like Sean Bradley in there pimping, honey. So don't let the girls talk. Don't let them open their mouth, honey. They take advantage of where they're opportunists. They recognize a need in people, a lack of family, and they take advantage of women. So we would never understand the mentality of what those people have in common with this club chat people. I do believe, though, there might be some truth to this. These people who are in the show might have put up their money as well. After the damn thing was over, they had these supposed to be these rich investors coming in. I talked to an older black family, and they seemed like they had businesses and so forth. And they were really they wanted to meet all the people and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they have some kind of outside investor, but I think that he might have conned them women out of that money. Mm-hmm. I think so, honey. And why wouldn't they give the participants anything? I mean, you wouldn't have to give them a lot. You can give them $600-700 for a weekend's work. They would have did it, you know. So that tells me the money was tight. Why would this Leo the lioness monster run out to buy the crab legs? I mean, I don't know what her job is. She's some kind of rough, manly job. But she ain't got no money to go out there buying $500 and $600 worth of crab legs, does she? Unless it was part of her show as well. You see? You see how it would make sense? Why was she there? Was she in the show even? I don't think she was even in it. Dee Ramsey, what the fuck was she being there for? Unless they had all paid for it, right? But Ty, you could clear it all up. We ain't gonna believe whatever Sean Bradley says, so that doesn't mean anything, honey. We need to hear it from the boss. From the boss. And start off the conversation. I'm gonna thank you guys for your participation. That would help. I got back his nigga telling me that there's some Peckerwood in Texas gonna dox me to get me off the show. That's the thank you I got. I gotta stop all that Peckerwood talk. I don't like that kind of talk. But that's the way they talk. That boy ain't saying nothing to me, really. He ain't saying nothing to me. That was all Sean Bradley, honey. Yeah, she does. She works some kind of manly job. What is she, a truck driver? Somebody said she's a forklift driver, pickup, goddamn mixing bricks or something. That's his hoes, his broads. Thank you, Nicole. Reloaded. Tracy, you gonna be doing the part 2? Well, I guess it's Heidi's story, but you certainly picked. Sometimes you gotta go with the people that you're used to hearing from to actually know what the hell's going on. So you broke it down pretty good. The rest of them, they may as well come on out and talk. I might think about those weak ass NDA. What was that? One line, sign here, girl, and then you get nothing out of the goddamn thing. You don't even get all you got was a crab leg for your participation. What kind of show stars are getting a crab leg for their pay? Piece it all together ourselves, because they ain't got the decency to come out and tell us what's going on. $300 popcorn. No, they ain't. Girl, when they told me the popcorn was $70-80, I said, for popcorn? What? Damn, I can go to Safeway and get a whole box, like 6 bags of popcorn. I could probably make 30 bags out of that and put a little seasoning on the Lowry sauce. I mean, isn't that it? Oh, it's a fundraiser. Oh, you trying to help the white people? What do you mean it's a fundraiser? Fundraiser for who? Who getting all the funds? Girl, you would think they would be more creative than that. No, I'm Phantom Queen. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I got to take you out. You said a name. That name does not be spoken here, honey. Can you put people out for a minute? Just for a minute, baby, okay? Don't hold it against me. But we are not using that motherfucker's name on this channel. That is a trap. Okay? You're welcome to stay or watch or come back or whatever. We got to put our foot down. Let the dead be dead, honey. That was kind of mean. Okay. Well, I can't leave it up, Phantom Queen, because I just don't want that name to appear here. That's the only issue. But you're welcome to be here. We got to get used to the people who died. Yeah, I got to watch it with all that Peckerwood. They had me going with all that stuff. So I'm not no racial person. I like that. Unless they are that way with me. And that's how I was introduced, you know. Yeah, we all got to watch our mouths. My mouth has always been kind of rough. There's no sleeping. Thumbs up. Crab legs are good, though. But maybe not for pay girl. Give me my money, and I'll buy my own crab legs. Crab legs. Girl. Then Miss Nicole said, where's my crab legs? She was upset about her crab legs, honey. She said, where's the barbecue? Because they brought her in late, they're going to spring her on people, you know. So I don't know if Nicole ever did eat anything. Oh, you will. Thank you, Phantom Queen. Your sweet self. Yeah, I got to have a clean break from that food because it's just like getting off drugs. If you're going to stop it, stop it. You know, I do a little bit today. I do a little bit. I'm cutting back some way back. I'm cutting no cutting back with me, honey. It's got to be done. A clean break. Was it king crabs? I don't even understand that fish food stuff. I don't eat seafood because I got all my issues in my mouth. But they had them great big old legs and stuff. And she did go and pay for it. I heard her say that she put it on her card. It had to be several $100s. They had big boxes of them. And there was a cook there. I had barbecue and some stuff like that. But it seems like to me, just for that little bit of meat in the middle of it, it wouldn't be worth it. But that's me. Some people love seafood. Not one of my things. And I wouldn't need teeth to eat that, really. You break it open, you pull the meat out of it, right? But no, too much work for me. For just a little taste. How you doing, Bashful B? I saw your video. Your laugh is very engaging because you get them. You get the ridiculousness of them. You took my comment out, though. Why you do that? I think. Stop it, RJ Supreme. You can't even talk about the certain power bottom, honey. I am free for freedom's sake. Garrett's popcorn. I don't have no idea, honey. They had some big scandal over there to say Miss Fine. Did she say that she paid somebody to go say they was sick in their stomach after eating the popcorn? I can't follow everything, people. You can't. These people making 2 and 3 hour videos, child. You can't watch but a handful, a little bit of it. You know, you got to skip through. But that was the popcorn queen. They were charging a whole lot of money for a bag of popcorn. Then they sit on the screen eating like, ooh, this popcorn. I mean, why would you play people like that? You know that girl ain't no popcorn on the world worth no $60, $70, $80 for the small bag. Put a little Lowry's on it. Was it king crabs? You got to ask somebody else, Mary freaking Robinson. Mary's freaking Poppins. I didn't taste it. I didn't eat it. Especially because I know certain people there will be looking all in my mouth. Does your church speak in tongues? Girl, there's a lot of things that I like about religion or church, having a church family, Phantom Queen, and a lot of things I don't get. All that, watch out, he's coming to the Honda. All that old stuff. I don't believe any of that stuff, child. I'm just telling you the truth. All that laying on of hands and things, but you know, you have to experience certain things. When God delivered me from dope, I know it to be real. I know him to be real. I know that I started praying to this God is the name of Jesus Christ, and my life changed forever. It's been something like almost 20 years. So I know that to be real. I don't go to AA meetings. I mean, it's just all changed, right? I used to always have to be, you know, I had no desire to do it anymore. It's all gone, right? I don't steal nothing. There have been so many ways that I have been delivered. I know that as my personal experience, right? But if somebody tells me they were healed from cancer, I don't know that experience to be true. I had cancer and I came through it. And I was only praying to one God. But I can't absolutely credit it. Okay, this is God healing me from cancer, right? But that don't mean it's not true. It just means it's not been my experience. Now, Benny Hinn come up 2 years ago and said all the shit he was been talking about, people getting out of wheelchairs and all that. That was all a show. Show. So if Benny Hinn gonna say it's a lie, I mean, he was collecting multiple millions of dollars, going all over the world. Didn't even need a church, just fly around, just collecting buckets and buckets and buckets of money. If he can admit it was bullshit, I mean, but my people tried to educate me, and my pastor friend tried to explain to me, don't look at that as speaking in tongues because people are making other sounds. Look at it as prayer language. Prayer language. So these sounds, there could be a rhythm to them where I'm actually praying. Like you can moan. I think I'm on a moan and say, I'm gonna moan for love. I say, let me moan for love. Talking for power, love. And that's the sound, right? So it's not tongues, but it's moaning. So my friends who's also a minister told me that much of that is prayer language. I can accept that. I've heard people moan. I used to go in church. Child, when I got delivered, I was so happy. It seemed like as soon as I heard the first tambourine, and I was an usher. I was supposed to be doing, I had a responsibility in the church, right? They go to usher, the usher in the middle of the room, all over the floor. It was real. It was absolute. So I don't judge people. I was so happy in my spirit to finally know God for myself that I went in every time. It wouldn't take nothing but 2 hits on the drum, honey. I was gone. And I missed that. I missed that part of church. I missed the worship part. And there were many times when I felt connected. I felt in the spirit. I am not. You couldn't just come up to me and start talking to me while I'm in worship, right? So a lot of things we don't know. All we can know for sure, I know God, I called on God and God delivered me. God delivered. When I was in Vacaville State Prison, and I had that same picture right there. They talk, oh, white. Don't let me get into that. That same picture. It was a Xerox copy from a magazine. And my other friend who went to church there, I had another gay boy. We were at church every day, right? He took me to a Xerox copy. He worked in the office. And when I got out, I had it blown real big. And then I just cut the face out. This was a much bigger picture. I had it grown real big at Kinko's. I just cut the face out because I remember it. I remember what it was like when I first found God. I remember the excitement. I remember the hours and hours and hours I spent in the Bible. I know him to be real. That's a very real thing for me. So no, I had never spoken in tongues. I do have this clap thing I go into, and I would go clapping so fast. I mean, my hands would be like a hummingbird. My hands would go that fast. I don't know if it does it now, but almost every time. So I like dancing in church and stuff like that. Yeah, I know God is real. I just don't know about what we're called the Bible. That's where my issues come in. Because when people start worshiping the Bible like that's God, I think it's idolatry. I don't think you're going to get the answers trying to worship a book or somebody else's experiences 6,000 years ago. You don't worship their experiences, honey. You can read it without worshiping it and like it's got something to do with you. All you got was a crab leg. Crab leg too. Say you need a pair of shoes and you need a crab leg too. Hey, RJ Supreme. Uncle Tim, I want to promote my Supreme popcorn. I'm charging $75. That seems reasonable. I mean, it seems like what they're doing. For popcorn, paprika, and pink salt. All right. Good luck to you, brother. Go over there to Club Chat. They'll buy anything. Give it to Mikey. He'll buy it. Give it to Mikey. He'll like it. He likes everything. Remember that commercial? Benny Hinn didn't surrender none of the millions, though, did he? Benny Hinn knew what he was doing, and after he got all he needed, he told the truth. If he wanted to come clean, he supposed to be donating all that money to all these poor villages he stole it from, right? But at least he did come clean, honey. We got to get better. We got to learn. We can't learn nothing. Everybody's still lying, honey. Like Trump, he ain't never going to tell the truth. When they bury him on his last breath, you know I won, right? That boy is sick. He is a sick individual. He ain't never going to tell. And the amazing thing is he can find 70 million people. I mean, he can find all these people who still believe it. They'll believe anything. Them people, David Koresh, honey, them people drank that orange juice knowing it was going to kill them. What, they thought they believed that man was Jesus? Whatever. Yeah, Marat, moderators, you guys, please, if you see the person's name mentioned, just take them out or time out. Just let them know why. Hey, man, I love God. God is good. You got that right. And that music is good, too. That music will take you someplace. It's the repetitive, right? Now, make that make sense, okay? Hey, Bashful baby. They love you, Bashful. They like to hear you laugh, how they get tickled. That's right. Sometimes all you need to do is laugh, girl. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Pray all is well. Bashful B, did you start the job? I know you got a new job. And you said you're still holding on to the other one until your transfer. Well, I think this is your field, right? Your new job is in your field. Sign your paperwork tomorrow. Okay, good for you, man. Good for you. You did good by your father. Thank God I have sisters. I left Indiana at 19, and I've only been back a couple of times in all those years. So, I mean, I help my family financially concerning my mother, but I haven't been there with her. They have to be with her all the time now. So I think her dementia has started now but they don't live with her. They just go and check up on her every day. So you did good that you were there, Anyway, you never know. You never say never. If I had to go back, who knows? I wouldn't give up my place. I would just, go there and spend some time. It's getting old, a mess, man. I know. I feel for the people. Shit, although my memory has been better. I mean, you guys know I'm always messing stuff up, but my memory seems to have gotten better over this last few months. I don't know. I took Prevagen for a while, but they jacked that shit up to $100 a bottle. They trick you in. The first 2 bottles were $39, right? Prevagen for your memory. And then after you bought it 2 times, now you're hooked. Now you're on it, right? You committed to it. Then they raise the price from $35 to $95. Fuck that. I don't like being played, honey. That's what I'm saying, Ty. I just don't like the feeling of being played. Mm-hmm. I know you're gonna enjoy getting back in them paychecks, Bashful. Hmm. And I love to be pulling me a fat paycheck, but you know, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I Miss Motown. Did I speak to you? I hope so. I hope I don't get so rude that I don't speak to people. Prophetess. You call that one Yolanda as Yolanda. Every year I get wiser, but slower. You're right, honey. I've been writing this novel, and the trick is in writing is you just have to write every day, right? So it's only been a paragraph a day. Now I'm in the middle. I'm about to go into chapter 4, but it's a paragraph a day. It's about as long as I can hold my attention. But when I think about it, when I think back on it, many of my other writings were just a paragraph a day. You know, as long as you keep moving, at some point you're going to reach your destination. The tortoise and the hare. Now, some people can sit down and they can just sit there and just write whole chapters. I can't do it. I do seem to be getting a little bit slower. And dyslexia, it makes you read and write slower. Now, your brain's still working the same. You have the same thoughts, but as far as you're reading your comprehension, you find yourself going over the same line many times, kind of thing. It just slows you down. But if you have more, like they do it now in college, a lot of dyslexic people are in school or in college. They have special programs for them. All they basically do is give them more time, and they get the same result, right? Okay, Jane, big boss. I live 2 hours from my immediate family, and average going home about twice a month. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you still connected to your family. I don't. The last time I was in Indiana must have been. It had to be 10 years ago. I live here. I lived in this apartment for 10 years. I haven't been back since. So. I don't know. Most people, all my uncles, they're all gone. I only have a few relatives that I would even know there. Because the last time I went, all these young people, I didn't know who those people were. I try to act like I know who they are, who you belong to. But there's whole two generations that come up since I left, right? So it ain't the same. But yeah, my upbringing, it wasn't horrible. It was horrible when my mama was married to a monster, but that didn't last very long. I mean, they were divorced by the time I was 8. And mother was just a single mother, but it wasn't horrible. A lot of gay people have to deal with being in the closet or not really being their authentic self in that time. But I wasn't effeminate, so nobody could really tell. People in the family who were around me, they all had suspicions. I had my share of giggles, but I could pass the school, so it wasn't a big deal. Uh-huh. I told this story probably a couple years ago. Anyway, we lived next to the church, right? So every Sunday, our family members, will come over because our whole family went to the same church, and we lived 2 doors down from the church, so they would come over, right? So some of the kids we were listening to James Brown. I think he was singing he had ants in his pants and he needed to dance. Some big fan, the mama come and give him a chance. I think it was that somewhere around that or Say It Loud. No, I think it was Say It Loud. Say it loud. Dun dun dun. I'm black and I'm proud. Dun 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 dun. So I was 8 years old, right? So me and my cousins were dancing. And one of my aunts came into the room from the church, right? And they didn't realize he was standing there. But I heard her. She said, and Timothy's a sissy. So a lot of them knew. The adults knew, even though they don't want to admit they knew. They knew. And Timothy's a sissy. I didn't say I'm doing the James Brown, excuse me. My sweet auntie. Yolanda. Yes, sir. I believe that. I get antsy. It's hard to focus, especially after being in this beef sector. You get addicted to the drama and fast pace. Yes. So trying to concentrate and watch a whole movie through, it gets difficulty because you can go to your computer, you can go to your phone, you can go to your text message, you can go to Facebook, and you can come on here, right? And sometimes you get caught up on here, honey, and it's time to go to bed. That is definitely the truth. I think this is more entertaining than watching television. I mean, it's just like television is interactive. That's why I thought there was some possibility that they could actually make a show. That's it, because basically it is a show. We all have characters, right? It's a different kind of show. And it's probably what the Thai saw. She said, well, there's something here we can work with. Yeah, YouTube is definitely addictive, honey. Linwood in the house. Hi, Linwood. Linwood. I ain't heard that name in years. Linwood. Who the hell I know the name Linwood? It's kind of a country name, ain't it? I know somebody named Linwood when I was a child. Let's see. What's wrong? Because he called me a sissy. It was when you're dancing, honey, you can see certain things. When my mama, when I came from college, I came out here, I was 19. She had co-signed for this car, right? I had to bring the car back to Indiana. And she had never confirmed me about the fact that I was homosexual, although I was absolutely certain that she knew because of this certain kind of hints through the years, right? But she could never say it out of her mouth. And then when I came back, I was walking through the store. From her kitchen window, she could see me walking down the street. And so when I came back from the store, she said, when you start walking like a sissy? And then that was a difficult period. Then she said, Tim, could you come in here for a minute? So she was in her closet. She said, look like somebody been going through my dresses. You don't know anything about that, do you? It just seemed like somebody been in here. You ain't been in my closet, have you? Just called me a punk then. No, mother, I wasn't wearing your dresses. I still don't wear them, girl. Poor thing. And then I didn't hang around long enough for them to all figure it out. I mean, nobody gives a damn about me being gay. I mean, that stopped years and years when I was still in my 20s. People, they always come around because you got to accept the reality. This is who he is, kind of thing. But I didn't hang around for any of the drama about coming out. I was already living in California when I came out by myself, right? They're still uncomfortable if you tell them anything, but I haven't been in a relationship in so many years. My dying partner, one time I came home, he said, Tim, I called your mom. I said, what? You called my mother? You must have got a good cuss out. You know who reminds me of my mother where she talks? Deanna Irving. Girl. If she didn't know you, you're liable to get your ass cussed out, honey. That's why I like her. She reminds me of her. They have the same kind of vocabulary. She talked to him. I could never get him to tell me what she said to him or what he said to her. We had been together maybe 5 years. I mean, off and on 3, and then he started getting sick, and then I came back with him. I would love to know what they said to each other because she has never even acknowledged any relationship or even asked me anything about anything like that. It's unfair, really, because I imagine people don't do that like that anymore, or it's not as bad as it was. But for you have to talk to your family members, and everybody can tell you about their family, their kids, their relationships, and all that, but you can't say nothing about yours. Yeah, that's kind of bad, but I skipped it all. I didn't go back. I doubt if I've been back to Indianapolis 5 or 6 times, and we ain't got no problem. I go, it's fine, but it's just that they have their own lives. They're not only are their kids grown, their grandkids are grown people. Linwood. I know Linwood. I know that name. Linwood Jackson. Either somebody on television or somebody I actually knew named Linwood. I just haven't heard that name in a long time. You live in the city of Linwood? Maybe that was it. That's where I heard the name from. What was that neighborhood in LA, the black neighborhood? Was that Linwood? I think LA has a Linwood too. How old are you? Who? Me? I'm 62. My life was just as valid. You come to the cities and then you make your gay families, you know. My partner was my family. I had 2 of them. While I was with one, I met the other one. We were breaking up from the first guy. I never think about him though. So I don't know if that was love or not. We were both 20 years old. We were together a couple of years. And after we broke up and we're just living as roommates, I met the second guy. I fell in love with him. He was 7 years older than me. And he just loved my dirty drawers. So I always remember that period. And I still think about that person every day. I mean, I'm not lying when I say I think about him every single day. So I believe love. I mean, thank God for the young people these days. They're gonna have a whole different experience than us. I mean, some people still choose to stay ignorant, but I mean, I imagine the gay people have it a lot easier now. They have gay straight alliances in high schools, and most young people, they know somebody gay. You know, a lot of young people, they come out, they hold hands. But I live in San Francisco, so here they've always kind of done that. But they can get married. Things have changed quite a bit. But they have a whole different experience. If I was with my partner if gay marriage was legal then, I'm sure we would have got married. And maybe we would have averted the drugs, because when we were together, neither one of us were addicts. We drank. But after we broke up, within a year, I was on meth and he was on heroin. All within a year after we broke up. So maybe if we stayed together, we wouldn't have had that, because we would have checks and balances. I don't know. Baldwin Hills, that's it. Yep, anonymous girl, Baldwin Hills. So it wasn't Linwood. It was something though. They had another neighborhood. It wasn't as exclusive as Baldwin Hills. Baldwin Hills was like the Beverly Hills for black people. Lindra Heights, Lamert Park are black areas. But heavily gentrified now. Oh, okay. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I guess it's not bad. I mean, as long as the other neighborhoods the people are moving into other neighborhoods. I mean, I did my first design jobs in Beverly Hills. There weren't no black people there at all. I'm sure there's not, I mean, aside from celebrities, people who make a whole lot of money. See, Beverly Hills was like everybody who lives in the hills and on the flats just under the hills, those were very wealthy people. So yeah, they had all kind of blacks there. They had Dinah Ross and they had all the celebrities stuff lived in that part of Beverly Hills. But on the flat part of Beverly Hills, the part on the other side of Wilshire Drive, that's where my partner's family lived. It was all white suburban kind of neighborhood, but those were not grand houses. But now they're probably still $5-6 million now. But they have a regular neighborhood in Beverly Hills. We hear about the estates and all that kind of stuff, right? My sister-in-law, she even owned property there, where she had apartment buildings in Beverly Hills Flats. Hi, Bayang. I guess the Bayang had her. I will admit something. I kind of liked her website. I mean, I was surprised that it did look as polished as it did. It did have I've heard a few people did not like it, were not impressed with it. I thought the website looks good though. I don't have a problem being honest, but the party. I mean, one person hopping around in a room full of balloons. I wasn't really feeling the party part, especially when she started shaking them titties in the camera. And then I went over to her website. I said, "Well, this is a pretty good website. Looks good. I mean, she has some product on there at least. So who knows? Maybe Fire Monster will actually make a success of it. I don't know. I have to just stay on the sand. Like, I'm not a hater. I don't wish people to do bad kind of thing. But their YouTube life, which is what I attack, is different from their actual, if they're in a business or if they're on a job or whatever. I'm not going to try to down that. Anyway, it seems to me that if you have a brick and mortar store, you might, because they have so many selections, but you can put a lot of selections on a website too. It seems like everything is going website, because even before the coronavirus, the businesses up and down Market Street were closing down, retail businesses, because people were shopping so much online. That happened before there was any coronavirus, right? We have a whole shopping center on Market Street. It never even opened. It's a whole shopping center empty. So we have to just get through this corona, and then white or black man? White man or black man, Uncle Tim? I'm just curious. You don't listen to these queens that hate me. They always emphasize that there was a white man. Yes, I had 2 white partners. Mm-hmm. But I think the one, Jimmy, he was my real partner. Yeah, he was white. Mm-hmm. I always had a little bit of a fetish about that kind of thing, but when I met him, it was different than the other people. I mean, I could go out, gay people, they just go out and meet people, just have sex with them, right? And so in your 20s, that's what it's like. I can go out and have sex with all kinds of people, but there was just something about that particular person that I fell in love with him. It wasn't because of what color he was. It's because I just liked him. I fell in love with him because he felt so strongly about me. So it was a beautiful thing. But all this stuff, every gay black, they want you to be with, you got to be with a black man. You ain't with a girl. For what? What difference does it make? I mean, what difference does it make? You ain't making no babies? Whatever, people. They're not sucking them because they're trying to help the black community. Believe me. Hollywood Hills. Yep. My sugar daddy lived in Hollywood Hills. He used to say back then, anonymous girl, oh, you can never, he bought the house for $27,000. I think in 1969, right? I arrived there in the late 70s, about 76. And it was still a nice house way up in the hills. You know how they build those houses on the stilts, on poles, look like skinny little legs, whatever. He had one of those kind of houses. I think it was 2 or 3 bedrooms, but it was beautiful. But he said, oh, I could never get $100,000 for this house. Because then we were thinking $100,000, that was just like outrageous real estate investment, right? But now, when I watch HGTV or one of them shows, them houses $2 or $3 million. But yeah, I spent a lot of time up in Hollywood Hills. I loved LA when I was there. I never occurred to me once I was going to leave LA. I made one attempted move to New York City. That was it. But then I thought I would be in LA forever. But when I started getting in trouble, they sent me to prison. I got in trouble in LA. And when they send you to prison, they can send you to any prison in the state of California. So when I got to prison, they sent me all the way up here to Northern California to San Quentin. And then I did a couple of years, a little less than 2 years here. And when I got out, I just stayed here. I mean, they give you a little bit of money when you get out. I think they give you $200. I only got $100. I'm supposed to pick the other $100 up in LA, but I only had $100. So you know what I was thinking about. I mean, I went in there as a drug addict, right? First thing I think about is getting high. So I wasn't about to give them the $100. I stayed here, and then I just met some people here. I met some people here, some drug people here, in like the first 2 weeks that I was here. And all of a sudden, although I knew no one in San Francisco, I hooked up with this guy, and I just became his right hand. So then I just became a San Franciscan. So that was I've been clean for 18. It was about 30 years ago, because I've been clean almost 20 years, and I sold drugs for 10 years. Yeah, that's 30 years ago. I don't feel that at old, but I'm an old motherfucker. I'm an old son of a bitch, honey. That was 30 years ago when I arrived here. Damn, that's the truth. And even then, I was 30 years old. Baby. Get your bum over here. Get your bum over here. You say hello? Say hello to peoples. Get your bum over here. Daddy, I'm security dog. Get your bum over here. Say hello to people. Say hi. Where they at, Daddy? Wait a minute. Be nice and gentle, Daddy. Nice and gentle. Say hi. Look at the people. Look up there. Oh, Daddy. What you doing to me, Daddy? Let me go. Oh, what you doing? Let me go, Daddy. Y'all say hello to Squeenie Dog. Hi, Squeenie Dog. Y'all see how I had to chop all his hair off his face? His face grows so fast. But he's due for a haircut. He is due for a haircut. I'll get him one in the next week or so. What a nice pick. Bashful B. Where's Bashful B? You got a nice pick? Squeenie. Hold on a second. Shut the hell up. You shut up, boy. Oh, the door is closed. There's somebody in the hallway. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It was nice talking to you guys. I guess you'll be hearing them people say, oh, why is he called Ty? She's a strong black woman. Whee! She don't want to talk to you. QB monster. All right, guys. Have a good night. Be quiet. Mm-hmm. We'll be on here an hour and a half. Oh, Lord. Think of my mouth. A damn shame. There you go. Good night, people. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh, sing a song. Seems we just got started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.